Luka's 42-point legendary flu game didn't stop Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors from overcoming a 19-point deficit and putting on a masterclass of second-half basketball. The only traditional center who survived the small ball era, Kevon Olajuwon, has proved to be extremely versatile on both ends of the court. In Looney's 21-point Game 2, he covered 397 feet per minute, which was more ground covered on average than Stephen Curry. The 6'9", 220-pound product of UCLA has a 7'4" wingspan and was selected 30th overall by the Warriors way back in 2015, one of the franchise's many late-round steals, as you can't forget, Jordan Poole and Draymond Green were also robberies in their respective draft classes. Even in the post-Kevin Durant era, there's way too many casual fans labeling the Warriors as an unfair super team when all the pieces they've acquired have come via the draft or the trade market. Based off the terrifying depth chart they've slowly developed around the Steph, Dre, and Clay Big Three, this Dubs roster has championship number 4 written all over it, and the Warriors are doing it without a single marquee free agent signing. You're about to find out everything they won't tell you about the Golden State Warriors. Before continuing, just 11.3% of you watching right now are subscribed, so if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a single upload. Also, please leave a thumbs up. It takes a few seconds and makes a massive difference in YouTube's algorithm. You can help me reach 1K followers on Instagram and Twitter by following me there at DFlowHoops, and I'll follow you back. Link is down below in the description for those two platforms. The layers to this current Warriors roster gives fans in the Bay Area a team for the present and the future. Waiting in the wings are guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and James Wiseman. The 22-year-old sensation in Jordan Poole, who's developed into a top contributor, is gaining the maturity and poise on and off the court, molding into the future face of the franchise right before our eyes. The product of Michigan at the college level has shown off an incredible work ethic and stick-to-itiveness to get better. A lot of people are making the case that he was this year's most improved player of the year over Ja Morant. Jordan scored 8.8 points per game in his rookie year on a bottom-feeding Warrior team and improved that to 12 per night as a sophomore. But in that sophomore season last year in 2021, Poole got 3 less minutes per game than he did in year 1, and he was also up and down from the G League, playing 11 games for the Santa Cruz Warriors. That was valuable playing time in the minor leagues, which helped Jordan develop into the player he's become. But it's obvious Jordan spent endless hours in the gym developing his first step with an agility ladder, refining his shooting mechanics, and he also became a lot stronger for his third campaign in 2021-22. Poole increased his scoring by 50% this past season, and after having only started 21 games combined in his first 2 years, he started 51 of the 76 outings he played this year. When Poole came off the bench, his production wasn't impacted. From March 16th all the way through until the Warriors season finale on April 10th, Poole averaged 26 points in 13 games. He shot 42.7% from the field and 38.2% from beyond the three-point line over that span. I've talked about this before, but even though Ja Morant had the highest points per game improvement of any player this year, the story behind Poole going from a G Leaguer to one of the most valuable players on a team that's one of the championship favorites was the perfect narrative for the Most Improved Player of the Year award. What I haven't talked about enough in previous Warrior videos of mine is the first-class mentorship that Poole's receiving from debatably the greatest point guard to ever lace him up in Stephen Curry. There's of course endless tips and tricks that Poole can pick up from the game's all-time greatest three-point sniper, so I think Steph deserves his fair share of credit for embracing and teaching Jordan how to perform at an elite level on and off the court. For the Warriors having another all-star in the making, we also have to give credit to Steve Kerr, the Dubs player development staff, as well as the front office, for putting trust in their late-round selection. President Bob Myers continues to pull unbelievable rabbits out of his hat on draft night. Another one of those late-round steals came around 7 years ago at this time, when they chose the at the time 19-year-old out of the University of California, Los Angeles in Kevon Looney. The 5-man doesn't have the flashiest points per game average, but Kevon's always had the same hustle and determination as a guy like Draymond Green, And just like Steph Curry deserves credit for helping mold Poole into a more than reliable rotation player, Draymond deserves that same type of credit for helping develop Kevon Looney. Unbelievably, Looney was the hero of Game 2, shocking the world by not just grabbing a typical 12 rebounds, but making 10 field goals for a team third best only behind Steph and Poole, 21 points. Coach Steve Kerr hugged Looney on the sidelines just like Steve Nash did to Kevin Durant, and also had this to say about his 26-year-old man in the middle. Quote, "Loon is kind of everybody's favorite guy. You know, he's so respected in the locker room. He's an incredible pro, does his job every day. He's an incredibly smart player, and he sort of gives us a lot of stability that we need. So Loon has been brilliant." Earning himself a bag, this may be Kevon's last year with the Warriors, as after signing a 3-year, $14.5 million deal in 2019, he'll be an unrestricted free agent in 2022 summer, who's going to likely test the free agent market. Of course, he could take a pay cut to stay in this first-class organization, but Looney's displaying in these Western Conference Finals that he's one of the most underrated players at the center position across the NBA. The man's due for a massive payday, and with how much ground he can cover with his reach and great lateral quickness for his size, Kevon deserves to cash in. To break down what happened on Friday night, Golden State ended up reeling off a dominant late-game run to miraculously eliminate a deficit that was once as many as 19 points. Ultimately, Golden State ended up winning 126-117 and seemed to have every bit of momentum as this Western Conference Finals series shifts to the Big D. Curry provided another great offensive performance in Game 2. He carried the offense all night, leading the team with 32 points. He shot 11 of 21 from the field and went 6 of 10 from the three-point line. In the fourth quarter, the bench unit sparked the run that gave the Warriors the lead, but to close it out, it was Chef Curry who made the big plays down the stretch, putting Doncic and the Mavs to bed with his signature celebration. Coach Kerr touched on his team's top players' consistent ability throughout the years to execute when the pressure reaches its highest, saying, "There's a reason our team has won championships. Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Loon have done this before, but Steph in particular is one of the great players of all time. This is what greats do," end quote. What happens for games 3 and 4 in Dallas and why? Best answer down below in the comments. Gets next video shout out. Top 5 commenters by June 21st. Receive free NBA merchandise this summer. So leave your take on today's question to compete in Community Speaks. Today's Speaks winner is Devin Sododal, who says Boston's best quality is most definitely their defense. Defense is so overlooked in today's NBA. The last 4 teams left in the playoffs are some of the best defensive teams. So that just goes to show you how important it really is. First of all, the Celtics have their DPOY and Marcus Smart. This man is all over the floor causing turnovers like crazy. Offense for him is just a plus because he is an excellent defender. He can shut down multiple different positions. Next, you have Al Horford, who's a veteran with very shifty feet. He can stop opponents in the paint very often, but also does not lack a lot of perimeter defense for a big. Big Rob in the middle is currently a top 3 shot blocker in the league. Daniel Tice comes off the bench as a big at times. He can also protect the rim when needed. Then you have the long wing defenders like Tatum, Brown, and Grant Williams. The Celtics have it all on the defensive side of the ball. Even when their offense gets stagnant, defensive turnovers can lead to easy offense. This is why I think their defense is their best quality. Appreciate every answer. I hope you have a great one. D-Flow signing off.